And police and other security agencies have been mobilized to intensify surveillance and patrol in pursuit of criminals. A Minister of the Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, disclosed this at this week's ministerial briefing at the presidential villa in Abuja. The minister says this is not only the response to the attack on passengers on the Kaduna-Abuja highway, but due to the approaching season of festivities. Ms. Aregbesola also confirmed that the security agencies were also moving to tackle the issue of bandits and criminal bodies who had taken over administering some areas in the country. He promised an improved response to all
appreciative of the successes and gains being made by all the security agencies, from the Armed Forces of Nigeria to police and intelligence organizations, as well as other security agencies. He's of the belief that more must still and should still be done. But he commended all of them for the progress we are recording on all fronts. The president was particularly happy with the fact that a free and fair election was made possible by the INEC and our security agencies, and that is a good assurance.
And joining me now to talk about the rising insecurity in the country is a security and intelligence consultant, Abuh Adams. Good to have you join us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be with you this afternoon.
So we've seen the rising attacks in the country, as you know, just recently, the very devastating one in the Abuja-Kaduna highway, where it was recorded live as it was ongoing. And now we just reported a situation in Plateau State, another in Ondo. The president has ordered security agencies to get on this as the festivity begins in earnest. So what's your reaction to this, especially when you look at the fact that this is not the first call that has been made by the president?
Thank you very much. I think the president's call is something that he should naturally do. And at this period of the year, even before we began to experience this level of insecurity, security agencies usually double their efforts, to ensure that the citizenry are able to celebrate peacefully. But as it were, you also know that the bandits, the terrorists, and all manner of criminal elements know that this is the time that people come out, this is the time people travel, this is the time people run around to make the ends meet. And so for them, it's an opportunity to commit as many crimes that can give them the economic benefits, the better. I think that is the reason why we are experiencing the present hike. It's not something that the security agencies are not expecting. There is something we call intelligence forecast. And for some time now, they must have, known that they were going to expect this. So what we expect now is for them to deploy all the resources available to them, capacity, personnel, infrastructure, technology, for them to deal with the situation. So the president's call is not unexpected. It should, but I think it is not about the call. It is about the government and all stakeholders to support security agencies, to fight these situations.
I want to get to that shortly in terms of support, but you talked about intelligence forecast, which is very key. Yeah. Because we should know that at this time of the year, this happens. Yeah. And not just that we should know, we should also know areas that we can, for example, call black spots, where these kind of things happen every year and very high intensity. So why are we proactive enough? Because of when you look at what we saw on the Abuja-Kaduna highway, can you say that we have been proactive in terms of securing the country at this time?
No, I think let me give it to the security agencies. In view of whatever that is available to them, personnel, technology, and support, I think they are doing the best they can under the circumstances. Don't forget that Nigerians themselves have been crying on their behalf for adequate resources to be made available to them. And it is not because they did not plan, but in a situation like we are, you know that let me use this word. Whether we like it or not, Nigeria is at war with all the criminal elements that do not want to give this country peace. So it's at war, and it's not a conventional war; it's a guerrilla war. And in guerrilla war, there are always surprises from both sides. It's not because they are not putting effort, but because the conditions also that gave birth to this banditry have not been addressed, and so people are still going into it. You still find people going into kidnapping. You still find people going into banditry. I think that is why we don't seem to be feeling the effect of the operations that the security agencies are carrying out.
So, let's give it to our security agencies. I mean, when you've been on something for more than 10 years, that has now taken different dimensions, it can actually take a toll on anyone's mental health. They have done the best that they can. We have to give it to them. But let's also talk about a lasting solution, because people do not want a makeshift solution just for the festive period. They do not want high security alertness in this period, and then after this period we are back to normal. What is the lasting solution right now?
The lasting solution of the security challenges that we are having in this country today is not a crisis that Nigeria alone can even find solution to. Don't forget that virtually all our neighbors, if you go to East Africa, if you go to other West African countries, the Sahel, there are crises there, and some of these things are flying from that place to our own country. But if we have to look at our own country now, like I said earlier, the challenges that led to, for instance, the economic challenges, they are getting worse by the day, and so we need to address it. We need to address it so that those that are not, those that are not lily-livered cannot go and join them. We need to address them very, very seriously. I mean, look at it now. We are talking about removing subsidy. You know that is going to worsen the economic situation of Nigerians. And so we need to address the fundamental issues that gave birth to some of these things. And thereafter, we should also not relent on our oars to increase the capacity of the fighting forces in terms of personnel, in terms of latest technology and the necessary weaponry. No doubt we have taken some delivery of recent, but if you look at it in terms of personnel, most of them are inadequate, and we need to do something about it. Even if we need to do emergency recruitment and training for the purposes of the battle behind, that we are experiencing, is not out of place.
All right, and we hope that people can travel freely this period and enjoy their celebration, Christmas and New Year celebrations. Thank you so much for talking to us, as always, security and intelligence consultant Abuh Adams.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be with you.